Oh, my God, man. You're some demanding children, okay? I'm late, but that's because I was actually doing some work behind the scenes to make sure this is an amazing experience. But hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. I've never actually seen myself on the screen. I typically look at there and I see myself. But there's a lot to unpack with Bayern and the news with Sané and Havertz. But that's not actually what this is about. I want to talk about Hansi Flick. How Hansi Flick deserves major transfer backings. I think Flick has done so much for this club over the last couple of months. I mean, almost a year now. Hansi Flick coming in, bro, has actually changed this club. We went from being the team that people were like laughing at. Oh, they're seventh. Oh, they're 7 points off. Oh, haha. In an easy league, apparently, despite the fact that we were 7 points off. And then Hansi Flick came in and we're actually Champions League favorites. Whether we win it or not, Hansi Flick has done so much for this club. And this is why I'm calling this Hansi Flick deserves board backings. I'm going to read some stuff to you that came out of Kylines Room Ninja today in the Sané press conference. Thanks, Leroy. I swear, Sané's a curse, okay? He came into the club. All of a sudden, the next 2 days, Thiago isn't staying. Alaba's potentially leaving. We're not signing Kai Havertz because of the financials. Oh my goodness. Like, that's what happened. So, look, Sané is a curse, man. He's a curse. Everything he does is a curse. No, seriously, let's get into this. So, I'm going to read off the managers that we've had in the last 10 years and the backings they got, excluding Louis van Gaal because he came before that. But in the last 11 years, not 11, in the last 9 years, so Jupp Heynckes came in 2011. His main signing that he wanted, that he got in 2012, was Javi Martinez. But before that, he got Neuer for 30 million, 35 million, which at the time for a goalkeeper was a lot of money. 35 million in 2011 for a goalkeeper was almost like 100 million right now in today's money. He got Boateng in 2011 and also Mario Mandzukic. So, once again, Jupp Heynckes got Javi Martinez, his main big signing in 2012, Boateng, Neuer, and Mario Götze the years before. Pep Guardiola came in 2013, 2014, right, in that season. So he came after the treble season. So in the season, that was the main season he managed, 2013, 2014. So Pep got Thiago immediately. I think he got Thiago in July 2013. So that's what happened with Pep. He came in, got Thiago. That was his main signing. But then at the same time, Mario Götze came in. Mario Götze was a board signing that Pep would have wanted, of course, but mainly a board signing where they were like, we want this player, so let's sign him. Coman came in 2015 along with Douglas Costa, 2015. That was Pep's second year, so 2014 and then 2015. Pep got Coman and Douglas Costa, and I think Arturo Vidal in 2015 as well. Pep also got Benatia, Xabi Alonso, and also Juan Bernat. So there's a lot of players there. Did I say Benatia? Yeah, Pep got Mehdi Benatia as well. So Pep, in just a span of 3 years, he got more players, but those are the major ones. He got Götze, Thiago, Coman, Douglas Costa, Arturo Vidal, Mehdi Benatia, Xabi Alonso, and Juan Bernat. That's a lot of players. And then Jupp Heynckes came in 2016 after Pep left. And his main signing was James Rodriguez. His big signing that he wanted from Real Madrid that the board gave him was James. A 2-year loan with an option to buy. To be fair, if Carlo Ancelotti stayed and actually succeeded at Bayern, you could argue that James would have stayed as well. And that was Carlo Ancelotti's signing. James, okay? James was Carlo's signing. And then, with Ancelotti as well, we got Tolisso, Renato Sanchez, Matt Hummels. Hummels at the time was the big one. The big signing that Carlo got. And then you also got Niklas Süle from Hoffenheim. Okay, Niko Kovac came in. Kovac, worst manager we ever had. Actually, weirdly enough, we spent a lot of money under him because Lucas Hernandez came in for 70 million. So did Benjamin Pavard. Alphonso Davies, but I'd say Davies was more of a prospect like a Tanguy Kausi where they can do good, but they can also do bad. But it takes time for them to integrate into the team. But Kovac also got Leon Goretzka on a free, which was a big deal because at the time Liverpool were in for him. All these clubs wanted him as well. All right, good. You can all still hear me. So he also got Coutinho, Niko Kovac, and Perisic. Perisic was his player that he might have wanted because he was Croatian. He wanted a player in the dressing room that thought exactly like him. Terrorist football. And then Hansi Flick. Now we're here with Flick. Out of all these managers, barring Jupp Heynckes, except Jupp, Pep, Carlo, and Nico did absolutely nothing to actually deserve their backings. Well, I'm saying they didn't have a whole season where they just... Right, did Pep Guardiola win more than Jupp Heynckes? No, so he didn't really technically deserve his backing, right? Did Carlo win more than Pep? No, so he didn't deserve his backing. Did Niko Kovac deserve his backing? Did he win more than Carlo, the one before him? No, he didn't really deserve his backing. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. So, out of all these managers in the last 7 years since Jupp Heynckes left, Hansi Flick, for me, deserves the most backing. Hansi Flick has shown me that he has actually been able to turn water into wine. If you look at our team, this is the same team that was dropping points, losing 5-1 to Frankfurt. This is the exact same squad, drawing a bunch of games last season, losing games, drawing to Freiburg. Who draws to Freiburg? But these are the same players, man. These are the same players that are now Champions League favorites. This is the same Thomas Müller that was underperforming under Niko Kovac. This is the same Lewandowski. Well, actually a better Lewandowski now. This is the same group of players. This is the same group. But Hansi Flick has been able to turn water into wine. And you're telling me that we're not going to back him. Now, I want to ask the question, and I think a lot of you answered this the first time I asked this question. For me, Niko Kovac is crap, as all of you agree. But for me, Leroy Sané isn't Hansi Flick Sané. You can't convince me that we wouldn't have signed Sané with any manager. Because Sané wanted to come to us last year. He was pretty much a Bayern player starting from 2019. He was just injured and City just decided to pay for his medicals to help us out because we're too broke to be paying it ourselves. But Leroy Sané isn't Hansi Flick's player. Alexander Nubel isn't Hansi Flick's player. I guarantee you Flick went, okay, I want Sané too. Of course, what manager wouldn't want Leroy Sané? What, was he going to say, no, I don't want Sané. I want me a center back. I want Sebastian Hukaka or something from the third Bundesliga. No, Hansi Flick would have just said yes to Sané, as any manager should. He would have said yes. The same way Pep just said yes, I want Götze. Of course, because Götze was balling. He was cold. Baller. Ice cold. Ooh, sprinkle. Cake on top. Sprinkles. Eat the cake. That's what Hansi Flick would have just thought of Sané. That Sané is a player that I'd like. And Sané is amazing. You can literally argue that Sané, the way he plays on the pitch, wouldn't technically fit Hansi Flick. You can argue that. Because our wingers are tucked inside, so Sané would have to play as a right winger. So you can argue that maybe Hansi... No, that's stupid. But you can argue with that with literally no facts. Hansi loves Sané and he wants Sané. But for me, Hansi Flick and Sané, it's not like Flick came in and was like, I want Sané, and the board delivered. Sané was a player we wanted way before Hansi. We would have still signed Sané with or without Hansi Flick. Even if Erik ten Hag came in, we would have still signed Sané. Alexander Nubel and Tanguy Kausi. These are signings that are Bayern signings. This isn't Donnarumma coming out from AC Milan, where he's out 80 million. Hansi wanted a goalkeeper to drop Neuer and sell him off. No, this isn't the same. Nubel is just a prospect signing, a good goalkeeper that can turn into a great goalkeeper and can learn with Neuer. So he isn't Hansi Flick. This is a Bayern signing. A player that no one really, Schalke are undervaluing. They don't want to give him a new contract or give him the money he's on. They don't want to do that. So Bayern Munich go in, value that player, and then give him the wages, and he comes for free. The same way with Goretzka, except Goretzka was actually a very good player at Schalke. So then you have Tanguy Kausi. This is another typical Bayern signing. This isn't a manager signing. But the reason why I actually have Kai Havertz in there, in that thumbnail, is because we know for a fact Hansi Flick really likes Kai Havertz. Why am I on the Thiago screen? Oh my goodness. Why did no one tell me? Why am I talking about... I'm not talking about Thiago. I'm not even talking about Thiago. The reason why I have Havertz in there is because I believe, for me, that's the player Hansi Flick wants. That's it. That's him right there. Kai Havertz is the player Hansi Flick wants. There we go. We finally fixed it. And now we're on Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is the player Hansi Flick wants. And I'm sorry I'm not reading the comments. I'm actually just trying to focus and make sure this is as clear as possible, because this is something I've been thinking about. Kai Havertz is a player Hansi Flick wants. Don't even think about that. Don't tell me no. Right now it's code. Bayern aren't signing Havertz. Chelsea are probably signing him. It's a 99% chance at this point that he goes to Chelsea this summer, right? Unless Chelsea just magically don't get Champions League. But Chelsea will get Champions League right now. But there's no chance there's no chance in my head that Kai Havertz wasn't wanted by Flick. Flick wanted Havertz. And this is what I mean by a backing. So your Pancakes got his little Javi Martinez for 40 million, which at the time was like 100 million today. Pep Guardiola got his Thiago, but also his Mario Götze. Carlo Ancelotti got his little James Rodriguez, but also a few other players like Tolisso. And then, actually, they sacked Carlo Ancelotti because he was given signings. They gave him Renato. They gave him the players. But then he didn't necessarily use them well. Renato didn't succeed here, nor did Tolisso. I mean, we're looking at this now. Now we're seeing a manager that can turn water into wine. But we're just going to keep giving him water to turn into wine? How long can you turn water into wine until you're just like, I don't want to turn more water into wine. I'm tired of turning water into wine. I need me some Gatorade now. Give Hansi Flick a big signing. Not Sané, because we just established that Leroy Sané isn't necessarily Hansi Flick through and through. That's a player that we wanted regardless of who our manager was. The reason I'm saying Kai Havertz is because we know Hansi Flick very much appreciates Kai Havertz. He actually wanted Kai. Hansi wants Kai. The same way Hansi Flick, I know, wanted Upamecano because he fits his system. And a manager has their system and philosophy. Hansi Flick has his. You can tell Kai Havertz fits. Why do we want Havertz? Why? Because he operates in the exact same positions as Muller does. And we play with inverted wingers. Kai Havertz would be playing in the position he wants. He'd fit us like a little, like a Lego in there. But we're not getting him. And this is where I question the board. It's just annoying because we have a manager that actually thoroughly has done enough to deserve their backing. They've done enough, but they're not getting that backing. They're not getting it. But look, the positive thing is, guys, we're 15 days away from the Champions League, from Bayern playing again. Bayer Leverkusen target loan I don't care. Galacto, I don't care. Chelsea's defense is crap. They need a goal. I mean, that's what I think too. It's like, that guy that's just, what Chelsea are? I made this analogy. You're basically like a guy, right? That's going to do the business, right? The business, right? You get in the room. Everything is set. It's romantic. You just need to put on the little protection, but then you cut the tip off for the protection once you put it on. You're like, you need to feel more comfortable. You're that lady that puts a mask on and make sure she wants to breathe. So she cuts the little nose and the mouth just so she wants to breathe better. That's what Chelsea are like to me. You're building like a world-class attack, but your defense is a bit crazy. Yeah. Havertz would have signed for 40, 60 minutes. No. What are you saying, Sonab Tab? Havertz isn't dropping like that. Bayern will play friendly before Champions League. Right, because we won't be friendly with Chelsea. So, right, that's a good point. Someone made that. We won't be friendly with Chelsea. Havertz don't want to end like Werner. Why are you saying... Timo Werner has nothing to do with Kai Havertz. But you get what I'm trying to say here, right? Hansi wanted Kai Havertz. He wanted him. You can't tell me Hansi Flick did not want Kai Havertz. I'm not saying Kai Havertz is just good. That's why Flick wanted him. I think Hansi wanted him because he fit his system. He fit the inverted wingers. He fit the attacking midfielder role, the way Hansi Flick wants to play it. He fit everything that we'd like to do as a team. And I think Bayern can't pay that much because of coronavirus. Well, look, no, that's not it. I can't just be that. Because we came into this window knowing that Bayern had all this money to splash. We were going to sign Sané without the virus. We were going to get Leroy Sané. It just so happens that we had a virus that stopped us from paying 100 million and instead paid 50 million or something like that. That's the best thing. So with that in mind, we were going to get Leroy Sané. regardless of the virus. The virus didn't make us just be able to afford Sane. We were going to sign Sane last summer for 100+ million anyways. We were going to splash money. Guess what? We signed Lucas Hernandez and Pavard for a combined 120 million. That's a lot of money when you put it into perspective. But then at the same time, we were still going to sign Sane on top of that. And that wasn't, the rebuild was going on. But then now, the board's all cool because we have Hansi Flick. Also, coming out for the Thiago, that's why Thiago was actually on here. People were questioning, why is Thiago on there? It's because Thiago was actually a little bit relevant to what I was trying to say. So, the reason why Thiago was on here, let's go to the meter. Why isn't it showing up? Okay. The reason why I put Thiago on here, because that is a form of backing. Why your light always flicks when you say, flick! Come on. Hansi Flick sounds funny. Oh, that's a great name. It's like such a simple name to say. But it's Hansi it's German, so it's a bit crazy there. But seriously, I just think that as a manager, you just have to do it, you know. You just have to. Flick is a great guy. You can tell. Hansi Flick has just a great aura about him. He hugs people. He just has a lot of positivity. That's my type of person, actually. Someone with that amount of positivity. And the worst way to annoy positive people like Hansi is to not back them in a transfer window. And look, he will feel a little bit weird when Kai Havertz is signing for Chelsea, knowing our board and he wanted him specifically. Hansi will feel weird. You might not feel like, oh, why would Hansi feel weird about that? No. Hansi's a great person. You can tell he gives his all to this job. But sometimes just one thing could go wrong, and that's why that manager could fail. And I'm not saying Hansi will fail because of Havertz. But in the far future, he'll be like, I wanted Kai Havertz, but the board didn't deliver. And that's why this happened and that happened. That's why I'm saying that. I'm okay with Kai Havertz not signing for Bayern. But do you think Hansi Flick is? Do you think Hansi Flick will be like happy that, you know, a player that we know he wanted isn't signing for us? Do you think that's going to be the case? He's not signing for us. And you just have to feel for the manager. You just have to understand where the manager's coming from, why the manager wants that player. Hansi doesn't want, Havertz because he's going to be expensive. No, he wants him because he wants a player. He likes his abilities, right? That's the situation. Kai might come back in the future. Remember, he's 21. No, that's not the case. In the same situation with Havertz, like with Sane in 2016, if he becomes a world-class player at Chelsea, we're going to buy him at 3 years for the same. No. The only reason we got Sane for 50 million, Erwin, is actually because Sane was done. His contract was over pretty much. He was injured for a year, but then the virus situation. So that's it. That's where we're at right now. Someone's asking what's my name. Can anyone remind him? I don't see any more signings. This squad is complete. Is really good for... No, it is not good for next season. You're telling me that let's just take Bayern 2. You know, Bayern 2 are an actual squad, right? People think you can just take players from Bayern 2 at a campus and just put them into the first... No, they're an actual team. They actually want to compete and win. They're actually a different team. And if anything, we're taking players from our biggest team, Bayern 2. We should go for Martin Odegaard instead, now that Kai has passed. Real Madrid won't sell him. Bayern will not sign Haaland. I don't think so either. Mia San George, thanks for telling him. That's my name. Bayern 2 won the league. Exactly. And Sebastian Hoeneß is leaving. So, you know these young... look. People are like, oh, let's put Wright into the first team. He's our backup for Lewandowski. That's not how life works, man. You can't just tell these young players, hey, you're now our backup center back. You're now our backup left back. You're now our backup right back. You're now our backup midfielder. That's not how it works. They have to prove themselves. Philipp Lahm went on loan to Stuttgart, and he proved himself. Pavard went on loan to Stuttgart, and he proved himself. Pavard wasn't our player before, but I'm just saying it's like, Stuttgart create our defenders for us. Our right backs, most specifically. How can I be a channel member? I don't know. You can just watch the videos. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you'll become a channel member when we reach. Well, I'll turn it on when we reach 5,000 subscribers. You got to work for these things, right? I don't want to just turn on all donations, until I reach a certain goal. I'm that type of person, right? What should be done to make Bundesliga competitive, according to you? I think more teams have to want to willingly keep their players. A team like, Dortmund, you know what? Sancho, his contract expires in 2 years. I would just be like, Sancho, you want to leave? Look, they're not offering us the right money. We want 150 million. I would just and I'd let Sancho go for free, but I'd want to win a trophy. That's how you keep players. Bayern, look, Thomas Müller. Remember, in 2014, Thomas Müller said it himself, and also a lot of sources confirmed it. Man United bid 100 million for Müller in 2014. You know what Bayern did? They declined the bid and said Muller's too important, and Müller signed a new contract. 100 million in 2014 would have broke the record for transfers with Thomas Müller going to Manchester United. But Bayern said, we're not selling you. We value you too high. You're basically our club and we are you. Let's just keep you. 100 million bid. Nope. That's what Dortmund needed to do. Dortmund needed to tell Sancho, hey, you know what? Your contract expires in 2022. We're not in a hurry to let you go. So what we're going to do is we're not going to accept any bids for you because you're too important for us. We're going to give you an extra 100K and we're going to try and keep you and win trophies with you. That's what I want from Dortmund. That's the ambition I want. You know what Leipzig did this summer? They said, Werner, you want to leave? Go. Okay, cool. But then Upamecano, his contract expires in a year. Leipzig's director came out and said, we're not letting him go for free. That just makes me, man. Bayern 2 cannot go over third Liga, exactly. Bundesliga should be 20 teams. It's crazy how it's 18. That's pathetic. I always wanted 20 teams because it would just mean that halftime break we do, Yeah, it is history, right? You do want to keep it, like Rajad says. But I do always want, I always think maybe this, the little break we get, it could really damage some teams because if you see it, a lot of other leagues, when team like Dortmund, for example, they were competitive last season, 9 points ahead of us in February, but then they dipped off in form. And I feel like maybe if we had games and the league didn't, I don't know. Right. So look, everyone, thank you all so much for tuning in. We know it's not a great day for Bayern, and I'm talking about things like Hansi Flick getting backed. Also, Hansi Flick getting backed. Alaba's contract expires. He's cold. Thiago is hot for leaving. Alaba's cold. Well, he is a cold player anyways. But Alaba right now is a player that Hansi wants to keep, and we should keep Alaba. People are saying I look like Alaba. God, kind of see it. Yeah, but Alaba's Asian, so it's just not it. Why are you... look, Martin, you don't have to spam, man. What is wrong with you? We've talked about Sebastian Hoeneß going to Hoffenheim. It's not like it's some new news to me. Of course, I know it too. German clubs need... English marketing to capture international. It's not about that. It's about keeping players that you don't even want to be at your club. You know what? Tell Sancho, hey, we brought you up. We want to keep you. You can leave for free in 2022. Tell him that. Wait, Alaba's not Cameroonian. He's Nigerian, if that's what you mean. Thiago and Alaba will sign new contracts. Ray, wake up, man. Wake up, Ray! Wake up. I think, look, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge also said a few things that I'm actually going to go over. So he said on potentially selling Thiago and Alaba, he says, I have to say, honestly, the fees that circulate in the media, I will have to laugh at that. We will not have a summer sale here. We will only consider selling if the numbers are right. That's basically Karl-Heinz Rummenigge saying, Thiago, if Liverpool aren't offering 50 million for you, or 40 million, whatever Bayern want. Apparently Bayern want 40 million or 50 million. If Liverpool don't offer that, you can leave for free next year. And I said it yesterday. If Liverpool don't give at least 20 million, or not at least, if Liverpool give us 22 million for Thiago, which is a lot of money for broke people, but not a lot for a club that spent a lot of money on Thiago over the years. and may take a loss technically, but obviously Thiago wins trophies, which always means better and better because people buy shirts. But seriously, if Bayern Munich, as Kai Havertz is saying, don't get the right fee for Thiago or Alaba, they're not selling him and can let him go for free next year. Alaba can go for free next year. Thiago can. I'd rather lose him for free than for 20 million. I think City, Chelsea, and all these other teams can afford Alaba, but Alaba doesn't want to go to them. He wants more money, and that's the situation. I think Alaba will sign a new contract with probably more money. Kai Havertz actually did say, with Alaba, it's about money. So the situation now is that Alaba wants to sign a new contract and wants to stay in Munich, but he needs more money. And I don't see a problem with that because he's a great player. He's one of the key members of the squad. You have to pick Alaba and put him in the team sheet. Doesn't even matter what position. He's just so important for us. I think center back is his best position. It gets the most out of him. His leadership qualities come into play at center back, and I think that's where we should keep him. People saying midfield. No, I'm not moving Goretzka out. You're stupid if you're saying that. You're trying to piss me off if you're telling me Goretzka, who's been great, exceptional, kept Thiago out of the team after his injury. See, if Goretzka wasn't valued by the coach, then Goretzka would never play. But he is valued by Hansi Flick. If Hansi Flick values Goretzka, so do I. The same way Hansi Flick values Havertz. And you know what? I was the same guy saying Bayern shouldn't spend 100 million for Havertz, a 21-year-old. I was the same guy. But then I was hearing more and more that Hansi Flick wanted him. And I wanted him because Hansi wanted him. I back Hansi Flick. I love Hansi Flick. And I think he deserves it. He deserves any player he gets. So Thiago and Alaba won't leave unless the fee is correct. That's coming out from Kai Havertz. So if Liverpool are offering us 20 million, Bayern would rather let Thiago go for free next year. That's it. That's the situation. Rummenigge just said also, wow, I'm signing more and more German with my accent. Said also, what the hell? He also said that Hassan Salamander had a conversation with Thiago. We were optimistic, but Thiago told Hassan some time ago that we would like to do something different. No club has contacted us to date. So you're telling me Thiago's leaving, but Liverpool haven't contacted Bayern? He literally said no club has contacted. And then there's a source coming out of Liverpool that Liverpool want Thiago, would like Thiago. They said would like Thiago, but his injuries and these other things and his age don't align with the Liverpool philosophy. So who the hell wants Thiago then? Who wants Thiago? Because I'm so confused. So Liverpool aren't the club that... It's very confusing for me. No club has contacted us to date. So Liverpool haven't contacted Bayern and said, hey, we want your player. They haven't done that. They haven't. Wow, crazy. So the fact is that we want to play the remaining Champions League games with Thiago and Alaba. Of course, they want to do that. Very nice club, very class club. Giving our goalkeeper, Bayern 2, got an injury, career-threatening injury, and now he's one of the coaches for the women's team. Oh my goodness. I should just become a Bayern women's fan because they're doing better than us in terms of transfers. They're actually buying players and not selling them. So Brazo, Hassan Salamans, also said, we have regular meetings with Flick. We see what we still need and what is possible. We have regular meetings with Flick. You think in that meeting, Hansi said, hey, I want Kai Havertz, but I don't know. I think Brazo wanted Kai Havertz too. Or Hassan Salamans. He wants Kai too, because if you think about it, he pushed for this Sane transfer so bad, Hassan Salamans. He's evolving, Salamans. He pushed for this so much that I'm thinking to myself, he may have wanted Kai Havertz too. But then the financials, I think most of our board was just like, no, the finances. And then there were some people, including Flick, who isn't part of the board, that were like, I want him because he's a great player, but we didn't want to spend the money for him. He says, we'll see who leaves and how we will react. What do you mean, how we'll react? If someone leaves, we have to bring someone else in. I don't care. We're not just going to say, Bayern 2, let's just poach your talents, Bayern 2. Like there's some world-class ballers. They're not world-class. These kids are kids for a reason. There's a reason why they're not starting for Bayern. They're not good enough yet. They're not. So give them time. Stop pressuring them to start being our backups for our midfield, for our right-back position. We need a backup right-back that's at a certain level. Leon Dejaku going as a winger to right-back. He may be decent. I don't know. He may be. But that's not what we're looking for. we don't want to rush Leon Dejaku's development. We want to make him feel like he has to earn every single minute, not just get it because we don't have anyone else to play there. It's how life is. You can't just get stuff handed to you. You got to earn it. You know, life, your responsibility, you're not a victim. No one's oppressing you. There's nothing there that's oppressing you, right? These youngsters have to understand that. There's no system that's oppressing you. Your life is defined by you. Motivation! Oh, geez, look at that. So, at the moment, we're well equipped, as he says here, but next year's schedule requires a good squad. We'll keep our eyes open until the 5th of October. That's when the transfer window closes. This transfer window has been long. It's been a very long transfer window. Barcelona willing to hear offers for Pedri. Who the hell is that? If they're hungry and driven, they'll go all out. Exactly. They seem hungry. Right. They seem hungry doesn't mean they're not full of food. I'm hungry all the time after I eat. I'm hungry 30 minutes after I eat. I start thinking, did I eat today? Right, exactly. Youngsters are going to be hungry because they're youngsters. They're going to want to be driven. But they should be driven in the right conditions. Thomas Muller didn't just get promoted because. He got promoted because he earned it. He had players around him that molded him. We can't just place Oliver Batista Mai as our backup winger after Sane gets in. That's not how life is. You need an actual backup winger. You need someone that can actually go in there. Kai Havertz is the best 20-year-old, a statement signing, and he's going to Chelsea. We lost again. I mean, look, someone said this, and a lot of you said it as well. We will be losers. I mean, SKB just wrote it. We will be losers of this transfer window. If Thiago leaves for 20 million, which I hope he doesn't, at least 40 million Liverpool. At least, don't be stupid. Thiago is worth at least 40 million. Because it's not like you're buying some regular old 50-year-old player that's going to be just some backup. He's going to be great. How are you, George? I'm good, DJ. The reporting today. So, the latest reporting today. Well, we're just going over what our board members are saying, and we just want Hansi Flick back. I just want Hansi Flick back. Don't know about the rest of you. I want Hansi Flick back to the last minute. I want him back. I think if Kovac was getting Lucas Hernandez for 70 million, Pavard for 35 million, Sane, I'm considering, I don't care what anyone says. We would have signed Sane if he didn't get injured last season, and Kovac would have been our manager. How do you feel when you hear that? How do you feel? Do you feel like Hansi Flick is the reason? No, he's not. Hansi's not the reason we have Sane. Hansi's not. Sane isn't joining us because of our manager. He's joining us because of the club. He would have joined anyways. Right, so a source from Liverpool is saying that Thiago will play for Liverpool. The Reds have agreed to a fee of 30 million with Bayern Munich, when Karl-Heinz Rummenigge just said Bayern haven't been contacted by any club. Like, you know what? That's so crazy to me. How can a source be so confident that Liverpool pay 30 million for Thiago and he's going to Liverpool, but our board members are saying we haven't been contacted by any club? This is why I don't believe any news story now. Like, I always find maybe they're just trying to be the first ones to get it, and so they're just predicting. Man, so annoying. Hansi's not the type of manager who would demand a player for 100 million. You're right, he isn't. But he would be the type of manager who would demand a player. Like any manager should. What I like about Hansi Flick, most especially, was that Lucio signed for Real Madrid and ended in Bayern. Why am I reading that? But what I like about Hansi Flick is that at the time, he was linked to the full-time job as the coach. He actually was demanding to have veto power over transfers. So if a transfer didn't fit his philosophy, he would have just said no. And that's what I like. Managers shouldn't have all the power, but they should have some considerable amount of power to say no or yes to players that they're going to be using. And that's the most important thing that we have to look at and consider. I'm not coming on here about Havertz. Happy he's joining Chelsea. Look, good luck with him. Next Mario Götze. Nah, seriously, Havertz is a great player. And I said it, any team that gets Kai Havertz wins the transfer. I don't care about the fee. It's not about the fee. It's about the statement. But the thing with Chelsea that I was confused about, with Chelsea specifically, if Real Madrid signed Kai Havertz, then fine, it makes sense. If Bayern do, okay, makes sense. Even if Liverpool do, it makes sense. But Chelsea, your defense, your goalkeeper, I feel like you just have bigger issues. You got Ziyech, who are him and Havertz, very similar type of players. So that's why I was confused why Chelsea were even wanting him in the first place, because the way you play, it doesn't make sense unless you just want an unless you're just going to be one of those teams that scores 4 goals a game but concedes 3. Havertz is going to be scoring braces and Rudiger is going to be conceding hat tricks. That's where you're going to be. Michael says, haha, you're not getting Havertz. Okay. I think I already laughed at that, to be fair. That's like me saying, oh my God, I have big eyes. And then someone's like, haha, you have big eyes. Like I just said I had big eyes. How are you telling me I have big eyes when I just said I have big eyes? Like, that's so stupid. Upamecano should be considered next season. I think he is. Christian Falk, hate him or love him, he said Bayern will be looking at and monitoring Upamecano's. I think he will sign a new contract at Leipzig, but what he said was that Bayern will be looking at him and seeing how Tanguy Kausi performs, and if there is no situation, and that's it. That's where we're at. So Kai Havertz to Chelsea is a done deal. Bayern effed up. I mean, look, Kevin De Bruyne said Bayern Munich, PSG, and Man City were in for him. He went to Man City. I mean, he just said Man City because of Pep or the football, but I think he really meant only City wanted to pay him, and PSG he didn't want to go to. So De Bruyne would have joined us in 2015. This is where I'm at, man. I think people don't realize when you miss out on a player until it's 5 years. 5 years' time, we'll be saying, oh, Kai Havertz, we were linked to him. We were this close to getting him. If we wanted to, we could have signed him. Look, Chelsea are going to win a Champions League this decade. Well, with the right tools, of course. We can only look at it as like, wow, they're going to do it. And Chelsea will play us more than one time this decade. I'll guarantee you that. You just hope it's not in the Champions League final at the Allianz Arena. The coronavirus destroyed everything. It did, because Bayern were actually going to sign Kai Havertz with the virus in place. We were going to sign Sane. We were going to get Upamecano. Then this little virus came out of nowhere and ruined everything. We were going to rebuild. We weren't favorites for the Champions League that much, but people started realizing just how good we were, and they started saying Bayern will win the Champions League. I think this board just got complacent. They think we're world class, or they think we are done. The rebuild's done. When we still have Lewandowski, who needs someone that can start pushing. No, I'm not saying Lewandowski is declining. The guy's getting better with age. He's like a goalkeeper. But you still need someone that, like an actual backup striker. And it's not going to be Zirkzee. Well, he has earned his spot as a backup. Yeah, right. So you can make the case for that. But Thomas Muller's 30. He's not going to get better and start outperforming this season. This is probably, for me, Muller's best ever season for Bayern. And I'm saying that with a straight face. This season, Thomas Muller has had his best season with Bayern Munich. I don't care if he had all the great... for me, I love assist Muller. I don't like goal Muller. I don't like the Muller in front of goal missing 3 chances to score 1. I like the Muller creating the chances. I like Muller doing all these things. You beat us without Pulisic. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's like me. That's like you saying we beat Barcelona in 2015 without 2013 without fully fit Messi. It's just really dull to say. This Havertz transfer isn't as close as it seems. I don't think if Sane is saying it, I don't. Well, why would Sane be saying it specifically that much? But if Sane is saying it, I still think it's very much real, and that's the situation we're at now. Look, that's the situation we're at now. We were never gonna buy what Dayo Upamecano. The link never made sense to you. Well, then we got Tanguy Kausi. Did that make sense for most people? People were like, "Oh, we have so many center backs," and it's crazy. Kai Havertz is a blue on Sunday. Wow, you know that specifically that it's on Sunday. Actually, he isn't joining Chelsea till after the Europa League. So, yeah, that's it. He's gonna play for Leverkusen in the Europa League, and then he'll join Chelsea most likely. Tanguy makes sense as can play DM. Exactly, he makes sense, but what don't we have Adrian Fine, right? You can make a case why we can't sign any player. You can say, oh, he's too expensive, or oh, he's too old, or he's too young. Oh, we need this and that. We need this ability, right? Chelsea's defenses. May God help us. Oh, jeez. I didn't know Tanguy. I didn't know Tanguy, but once I started watching highlights, I'm glad we got him. Right, he's a very good player. Werner apparently convinced Havertz. It's not Werner. It's not Werner. It's not. The coronavirus convinced him to go. Because guess what? In a normal window, Chelsea ain't getting Werner and Havertz. No, that's not happening. In a normal window, this is impossible. Chelsea couldn't be able to attract these players. But guess what? They have the money now, and everyone else is financially hit. Even Real Madrid. Oh, I mean, we talk about Bayern wanting to be cheap. Real Madrid are broke too. They're just as broke as us. But yeah, that's it. That's the situation. Of course, Bayern have money, always will. One of the richest clubs in the world. We're fourth for bringing in revenue, almost passing up Manchester United in terms of broadcasting revenue. That's the situation. That's a fact. Bayern Munich make a lot of money. If anything, if you look at our money corresponding to our spending, we're 16th. We make so much money. We're fourth, third, close to third, right? Real Madrid and Barcelona are like, you know, they're making more money than everyone else. But Bayern are there, up there with Manchester United. So if you look at our money and the amount of money we bring in, and the amount of profit too, because we don't spend that much money. So we should be able to spend more money than everyone else technically. But we don't. And it's like a little continuous cycle. So, right, that's where we're at. I think Bayern have money. I'm not convinced this virus just destroyed our finances. Because we were going to sign Sane, Havertz, and all these ballers by January. You remember Christian Falk tweeted out about a poker table with Havertz. But then the virus hit, and then everyone started going off because the money and the finances were too much. Bro, you're acting like this thing is done. Kai Havertz will play for Leverkusen. No, this isn't an argument. Liverpool wanted Werner. That's the situation. Timo Werner twerked for Bayern for 2 years. We didn't want him, so he twerked for Liverpool. Klopp wanted Timo Werner. Werner actually said Liverpool wanted him. But guess what? Liverpool couldn't afford him. That's what we know. He would have gone to Liverpool. But Chelsea could afford him, and they offered a decent project. Because technically, right now, Liverpool are a better club to go than Chelsea, obviously. You're winning titles. You're in the Champions League. You're not competing for top four, right? You have a world-class coach like Klopp. So that's the situation, right? And can you change the subject? What would you like me to change it to? I think we're coming towards the end of the stream, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining, and I do appreciate each and every single one of you. All you deluded bastards. Not seriously. Nah, I'm fine. Alright, seriously. Thank you all so much. Leave a like on the video as well. Subscribe if you're different on the channel. We're trying to get to 1,800. That's crazy because a couple days ago we were getting to 1,000, whatever amount we were getting to. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Do appreciate each and every single one of you. Yeah, Kai Havertz, welcome to Bayern Munich. Nah, seriously, Hansi deserves his backing. Still waiting on that Kai Havertz alternative video. It was supposed to be today, but I didn't know Leroy Sané would go and run his little mouth about Havertz. But thank you so much. We're an attractive. Shut up, man. Stop telling me you get Havertz and Timo Werner in a normal window where everyone is rich. No, stop telling me that. Mia san mia and peace.